It's been so long since you smiled. Tell me where you left an empty child. Oh, let's have a feast on those who least expected this. The time is now, I swear we won't regret it. Won't regret it. Yeah, we sleep here under stars in the shelter of the sun. Addicted, addicted. Yeah, when you find out who you are, I'll be watching from afar. Addicted, addicted to this. No, we won't tell a single soul. No. Of every passing night we've sold. Oh, this is our time, our place, a new day is in bloom. Come and see what it's like to just accept it. Yeah, accept it. Yeah, we sleep here under stars in the shelter of the sun. Addicted, addicted. Yeah, when you find out who you are, I'll be watching from afar. We're addicted, addicted to this. Take me to the light. I got tunnel vision sight. I got higher than I like. Too pretentious to rectify. Looking back, I know you tried. No, but does it still possess your life? Let's go out and get electric one more time. Everything in the world could be as we left it. Yeah, as we left it. Yeah, we sleep here under stars in the shelter of the sun.
Welcome everybody to the Daytona International Speedway. Here for the 11th round of the Sim Auto Racing Group Superspeedway Series, the second to last race of the season here in the playoffs. This is going to be an incredibly close race. This is the BMW Structural 200 here at Daytona as we are under the lights for this evening. Coming into tonight, the point standings are as follows. As you can see, it is almost a complete deadlock in the entire top 10 of the standings. Only one shuffle from 5th, 6th, and 7th. We'll get to that eventually. As Lucas Cram and Benjamin Nelson continue to lead the way in the points, only by a 5-point deficit. Brandon Hoff as well, third by 13 points back from Lucas Cram. That's going to be something to keep an eye on going into this race at the halfway point, because of course the halfway point being the stage end is going to be something to really keep an eye on. So we'll see Colby Wells and Dustin Schwingle both move up one position respectively to 5th and 6th, as Alex Fox fell back 2 positions down to 7th. Sean Howell, Alex Bell, and Clint Spillman, pretty much anybody maybe about 5th and below, are pretty much relatively out of the points contention. We'll have to wait and see how everything goes, as qualifying has just about come to an end within the final 5 seconds. And we are under the lights for the second to last race here at Daytona. This is not the final race of the season, keep in mind. The final race of the season, in a sense, is going to be next week. Not next week, correction, 2 weeks from now, with the All-Star Open and the All-Star Race. Also here at Daytona, which will mark the end of the season. Your starting grid as follows coming into tonight is going to be the same front row that we've seen a majority of the season, at least save for one specific person. Lucas Cram once again on the pole for tonight. Brendan Hoff is quite close behind with again, solo qualifying time just by about what looks to be maybe 4 thousandths of a second off of Cram's time. Benjamin Nelson, 1,000th of a second off of Brendan Hoff's time. He'll start in 3rd place, with Alex Fox starting in the 4th place position. Starting 5th is going to be Clint Spillman. He's running out the top 5. And 6th place will be Alex Bell in that number 15 machine. Your top 6 are all playoff drivers. Keep an eye on them, highlighted in blue throughout the night. Robbie Lyons will be starting in 7th. 8th place is going to be Nick Olson, as Brett Murphy in the 11 and Stephen Gale in the 52 will round out the 9th and 10th place positions. Gavin Jones will start 11th, with Christopher Lewis starting in the 12th place position. Starting 13th is Alan Ballacino, the first of a few drivers to not qualify. Kyle Manger as well did not qualify. He'll be slated to start off in 14th. 15th place is going to be Sean Howell, and 16th place will be Colby Wells. Lucas Strayer starts off in 17th place. 18th place is Caden Atkins, and 19th place will be Dustin Schwingle, with Quinn Gingrich rounding out the top 20. 21st is going to be Kyle Dagger, and that will round out your 21 car field here for tonight's race. This is going to be absolutely incredible to see how this will all start, as Bell is in the wrong gear for a few moments, but he'll get it back going correctly this way around. Luckily in time. Brendan Hoff, however, probably stalled the car just ever so slightly, but luckily he is able to get it back going once again here, as the field rolls off of pit road down into turns 1 and 2 at a staggering give or take 65 miles per hour, just going off of the pace car speed. Right now, this is pretty much everybody waiting for the next few moments, as the anticipation continues to rise over and over again. And again, just looking back one more time at our point standings coming into tonight. This is what they look like throughout your top 10. Keep an eye on Lucas Cram, Benjamin Nelson, Brendan Hoff, and Alan Ballacino. Maybe Colby Wells as well, if he can pull something out of nowhere, but we'll have to wait and see coming into tonight. So the 44, the 33, the 9, and the 02 will be the drivers to watch out for. Can Brendan Hoff or Alan Ballacino pull off another upset for tonight, or will it still be the two dominant drivers being Lucas Lucas Cram and Benjamin Nelson coming home with the win tonight. Will it even be either of those two with the win tonight? We'll have to wait and see as the field makes their way through turns 3 and 4. Waiting for the flagman to show the green flag and let the field loose for 80 laps. Stage ends at lap 40, or at the completion of lap 40. At the halfway point, caution will come out, but we do have pit stops before then. Pit window, lap 25 to 32, and we'll see how everything goes tonight. Green flag flies, and we are underway at Daytona for the second to last time this season. Coming off turn 4 to the start-finish line for the first time tonight, it's going to be the 27 of Alex Fox leading the first lap as the 15 of Bell goes wide on the outside. 3 wide at the start-finish line, entering turn number 1. And it's going to be the 15 and the 27 both falling back, but more the 15. Robbie Lyons is well up on the top side. He'll get shuffled back ever so slightly. He'll have to slow up to avoid hitting the 15, at least especially shoving the 15 in the very back bumper, but well, Robbie Lyons doing exactly what the back bumper of the 15 says, follows him right back down to that second line. Nick Olson on the outside lane, the number 24, that black and green machine. No rhyme intended, of course, but he's helping out. That 27 of Fox lead the second lap as well. Again, this is just going to be something to look out for heading into this race. So we'll see how this will go. The last time that Lucas Cram was here, at least under the lights at Daytona, he blew his engine, and unfortunately about 20 laps in, just under 20 laps in, and had to take a faster pair very, very early on, putting him at risk. So we'll see how he fares this time around coming into Daytona for tonight's event. But in the meantime, as we await the pit stops for tonight, we'll have to wait and see, of course, but right now we're looking to see relatively even field throughout the first half, but then we go back to around what looks to be P16, position 16 or so, maybe 17 by the looks of this, depending on where the 7 of Schwingle is. Well, now it's the entire top 17 who's side by side, and now 18th, 19th, and 20th were all single file. That's Lucas Strayer, Kyle Dager, Quinn Gingrich, and Sean Howell. We're all in 18th through 21st respectively, but in the meantime, as we continue to wait, Alex Fox getting a huge shove from the number 24 of Nick Olson. Luckily, he will be successful heading into turns 3 and 4. Alex Bell stuck up on the top side once again, maybe trying to look to get a run on the outside as the 44 ducks out from behind the number 27 as he moved down off turn number 4. So now this is something that we'll have to look out for throughout the night as it goes on. And that, of course, is going to be what line everyone is deciding to take. Watch out for the 33, Benjamin Nelson in particular. Even Clint Spillman, actually, he's up here in the top 4. And unfortunately, he's not had the best playoff season, but he has been up here in the top 10, top 5 a few times. It's just that bad luck that struck him. But that 88 machine looking to at least try and pull something out of nothing. And right now, he's looking to be incredibly successful at that. Fox moves up to the outside lane. Or sorry, that's actually Nelson moving up to the outside lane. As I, well, of course, did call that a couple of corners beforehand. And it's something that you could always expect at Superspeedways. Down the back straightaway they go. Nelson leads by about half a car length. Of course, after pit stops, if nothing happens, about lap 35 or so, we may take a quick commercial break. We may not, of course, that will be subject to change. Just after pit stops sort themselves out, we'll take a quick break, provided at least nothing happens. And we'll give you the stage end in all its glory. In fact, correction, lap number 20 may be the lap that would go for a full-screen commercial break. Unfortunately, no side-by-side will be available due to quick technical issues that will have to be sorted out over on this end. Someone, of course, who's not having any issues of the sort, though, is Benjamin Nelson, as he's getting a great shot from the 44. But look at this up on the top side, the 9 of Brendan Hoff and the 02 of Alan Balacchino. You see how much blue there is over there throughout the top 15. Oh, Olsen cutting it very close, moving up to the outside. At 24, again, cutting it incredibly close, very daring move, and it may prove to actually be successful. We'll have to wait and see. What does Nelson decide to do? What does Cran decide to do if he does get called clear? Well, now he will not at this rate, and it's a huge shot from the 9 to the 24 down the back straightaway. You can see the momentum difference here as they go up through the top side, and that late shot from the 44 to the 33 will put the 33 and 24 even. And Nelson will actually continue to remain on the inside or the middle lane. Now he moves down to the inside, and for sure it will be 3 wide across the start-finish line this time by. Who will it be at the start-finish line, just as curiosity? It's to be Nelson, the 44, then the 24 at that line. That we can see how close it was here at the start-finish line. Look at how close that gap was. Benjamin Nelson got it. Nick Olsen barely edged out Lucas Cran by a 4th digit that we don't even know. Now it's just for lap number 8, keep in mind. Oh, bobble from somebody in the middle. That looks to be Lucas Cram. Maybe the 9 of Hoff. No, that definitely is Lucas Cram. Got a huge shove from Stephen Gale. Diving up to the outside goes the 27, the Fox, in contact in the back. It's going to be the first caution of the night, the 56, the 5. Many drivers are involved here throughout the tri-oval, and that is the first caution, unfortunately, of the day. The 02 of Balacchino involved as well, and that will slow things down relatively incredibly early on. And we'll see if we can get a replay here. Keep in mind, only 9 to 10 laps in, so we may not be having pit stops aside from the drivers who are damaged or those who may want to try and just barely get to the end of the stage. We'll see how that plays out if drivers do decide to go to pit road. In the meantime, replay coming up on your screen. Look at the 52 machine, the second driver up on the outside lane, or the leftmost lane of the screen, and the blue, red, and white machine in that number 52. Moves down to the inside. Oh, it's just same real estate, unfortunately, from the 95. And many drivers got involved after that, unfortunately. Balacchino heading straight for the inside wall on pit road, just barely scrapes it. Knocks out the cone as well, unfortunately. Colby Wells getting the worst of that with absolutely nowhere to go by the looks of that. Let's see if we can get an onboard shot with that number 45 machine. So look on board from Colby Wells. Oh, he was so far in the back too, not once, but twice, 3 times he made contact. Well, it looks to be everybody going to pit road. They're going to try and make it into the final stretch of this race. As we come back to live pictures, many drivers spread out. The 9 just comes into his pit box. Luckily, I thought he would overshoot. Benjamin Nelson first off. Second off is Alex Fox at 24 is third. Sean Howell is 4th off. 5th off pit road. Who will it be? Gavin Jones. Looks like the 44 will get shuffled back to about 8th place. So now this is all just a matter of waiting to see where everyone will sort themselves out here as this race will go on. We should be getting the 1 to go signal this time by, actually, so we'll see, as all eyes will be on the pace car and a cone goes flying in the background. We'll wait, and we may actually hold off, just hold off on a commercial break, just especially with how quick these cautions are, which of course is always a great thing. But we'll wait and see as everyone will be catching up to the pace car. Will the lights go out this time by is the main question. I'm predicting yes, of course. As Nelson, of course, taking his time to try and catch up. Maybe trying to save fuel, actually. No, he's actually going to go back into pit road. Just like everybody else, actually, going into pit road for a second time. Majority drivers going into pit road, maybe trying to at least get some extra fuel. Nick Olson stays out. He'll get scored the leader across the start-finish line. Brett Murphy will restart second. Third place will be restarting Lucas Cram. But due to when everyone else went to pit road, pretty much from 4th all the way down to 12th place, relatively most of the field was out from the drivers who were in the back. So this is a very, very interesting call. So Cram, who should be restarting third, will be restarting in first place on the outside lane. Nick Olson, of course, is the leader. He'll be bringing the field to the green flag. A very interesting strategy call. So it looks like maybe not everybody is confident that they will be able to make it to the end on the stage in terms of fuel. Looks like everyone, of course, still taking their time trying to catch up, as well as trying to get caught up in a timely fashion. So, yeah, just something interesting, something to look out for later on in this race. That one lap under caution can do so much, whether you're coasting, getting some more fuel or not. So we shall see how everything fares within this next portion of the race. Field is all caught up. Everyone is in line. We are all ready to get going here. Once again at Daytona, Nick Olson will lead the field down to the green flag at the start-finish line. Starter has the flag in hand, and that is the signal to get back going, as the majority of the field is single file due to the pit stops. Green flag flies once again at Daytona. As they head down into turn 1 and 2, it's 3 wide for third place off that corner. Down the back straightaway they go. It's Alex Bell stuck up on the outside lane. The 95 of Christopher Lewis as well falls back on the middle lane. Getting freight train now is the 15 of Bell. He'll fall all the way back. It was a risky move, and unfortunately that is the high risk and low reward for that number 15 machine. In fact, someone's not actually taken their faster pair as of yet. That looks to be Colby Wells in the 45, and it is. That's the same with the number 9, actually, of Brendan Hoff. He also didn't take his faster pair. If we look on board the 15 of Alex Bell, there's the damage to the back bumper of the 9. If we look off the back of Clint Spillman, we can see the missing bumper on the 45. Looking like a half of a modified there. But an interesting call to just make it to the end of the stage and then use the faster pair later. Maybe anticipating another wreck are the drivers that didn't use their faster pair. Meanwhile, the 95 of Lewis stuck up on the outside. Kyle Manger as well dives up to the outside with Nick Olson as well to help him out get by on the outside lane. And the drivers who are not in the playoffs are saying, well, we could have been here as well. And look at that. Both the 24 and the 25 move to second and first place, respectively. as they come down the back straightaway now, this time by the start finish, or this time by through the back half of the speedway. Well, there's the 15 again. I could have sworn it was about 5 seconds ago, quite literally, of course, 1 lap ago, that Alex Bell was falling back from going 3 wide. Now he's back up here with the top 6. If that isn't a rebound, then I'm not entirely sure on what is, but that's an incredible job by the 15 to just get back going, and he's also got help from the 9 and the 33, both Hoff and Nelson, respectively. What a run that was. He's got Brett Murphy in the 11, who, believe it or not, may have a paint scheme every different week, as well as the 27 of Alex Fox. But we'll see how everything goes, as the 25 will get left out on the inside lane. Here comes Nick Olson trying to get by on the outside. But they're relatively even as they come down into turn 3 for the 16th time today. At this point now, this is just a matter of time to just see how everything plays out. Everyone making their way off the corner. 2 different packs in a sense. This first one is the top 11, correction, top 10 of what you're seeing here on your screen, and then the rest of the field is the other 11 cars led by Alan Ballacchino and Sean Howell. Unfortunately for the 45 of Colby Wells, he is stuck with the 7 of Dustin Schwingle as well, due to having so much front end damage. And I think even Dustin Schwingle may have actually been given the go-ahead to just say, hey, just go around. It's not worth trying to help with all this damage on the front. So we'll see, as Wells will be having a couple connection issues, unfortunately, to add insult to injury, but no issues so far. Still have 21 drivers, all in the field, of course. And I was about to say all on the lead lap, but unfortunately for Caden Atkins, that is not going to be the case. I believe first race here for him tonight. He'll be moving up to the top side as the field makes their way through the tri-oval this time. Ooh, scraping the wall as well ever so slightly, but luckily that was on a straightaway, not through the corner, so Atkins will let the main group by, and he will predictably fall right into the back portion of this field. And so try and get a tow off the 11, but here comes Alan Ballacchino catching up to the number 56 machine of Atkins. We'll see if that has any factor to do with it. Maybe it could actually help Ballacchino in this second group out, because everyone in the second group is now all single file, so that's helping them out just a little bit more as well, and using that 56 as someone to pull them forward just that little bit closer to the main pack. This could help them out a lot. And right when I say that, Atkins moves right up to the outside lane and says, yeah, you know what, I'd love to, but I'd rather not really be in the way. Tries to help give the O2 a little bit of a pull as well, with that draft coming back down to the inside on corner entry, or travel entry rather. It looks like this second field, or second group, Ballacchino has now caught up with this main group. Unfortunately for the 45 of Wells, he is also off the pace, but that's the same with Stephen Gale and Gavin Jones, who I also don't believe may have not used their fast repairs either. They do look to have clean cars, so something must have happened on their restart, unfortunately. Robbie Lyons all on his lonesome, unfortunately. That goes the same for Colby Wells. Dustin Schwingle as well, looking to fall a little bit ways back from the top 15 now. At 60 laps to go, it's still a side-by-side battle between Manger and Olsen. Neither line has given an inch. So we're on board the back bumper of the 25 of Kyle Manger as well. We see how close Lucas Graham is, his pushing opportunities, pushing on a corner entry, just not even pushing, just more giving a little bit of a light tap. But we'll see down the back straightaway how different it will be. And the 44 already up on the back bumper of the 25, giving a quick shove and just immediately backing off. As far as the momentum difference between the 44 and the 25 on that corner entry. That time by, it was the 25 of Manger with the lead halfway, or by a half a car length. Everyone is, of course, enjoying this race. Right now, it's really just the calm before the storm. And that storm could be either maybe in a couple laps for all we know, but double checking actually in the interest of that. It's going to be close in terms of pit stops. That is for sure. Everyone now on their 11th or 12th lap. And at most, some drivers could possibly make it to about lap 35, maybe stretch it to 40, but that's going to be the key thing. It's about who can stretch it and who can actually hold their line when being shoved, not to at least call out the 24, but 24 of Nick Olsen having a few issues, unfortunately. Of course, a little bit of a rework of that sense would be better, of course, more hoping to control the, well, no, that doesn't help either, so at that point, I will just stop digging a proverbial hole here, but luckily for the 24 of Nick Olsen, at least, he did manage to hang on to it. There's a way to word that sentence, and unfortunately, I just cannot find that proper way, so apologies for that if that came out, if that's interpreted incorrectly. Back to the original points, that who can have their fuel consumption last the least. Anybody up in the top 4, it's not happening anytime soon, as unfortunately Olsen will be falling back now, getting shuffled back on the outside lane. And unfortunately for Olsen, maybe looking in the mirror too much, maybe just wanting to get to the lead as soon as possible, just itching for that clear call on the inside lane. Even we're not entirely sure. Maybe a couple handling issues up at the front, for all we know. Maybe some hardware issues as well. But right now, everyone, of course, also still subject to just not entirely being able to hold their line. It's difficult when you have someone pushing you, of course. And when you're being pushed, let's say that, if you're Benjamin Nelson and you're being pushed, you're probably consistently looking in your mirror up on the top side, but it's of course hard to ignore a car directly on your back bumper in your mirror, filling up the entire mirror as well, and just try and just drive like nothing's happening right behind you. 25 Manger as well, trying to control both lines. He was hesitating. He's still hesitating to move up, and he decides to stay right back down. And Nick Olsen possibly more comfortable on the inside lane as he moves down. Maybe just waiting for that call, of course, like I mentioned earlier, and he does move down to the inside, so maybe Olsen was getting a little bit antsy, maybe just wanted to get to the inside lane as soon as possible. However, somebody who does not fare for the inside lane so much is the 15 of Alex Bell, the 27, actually correction, the 11 of Brett Murphy, hesitated for a second, and well, you can pretty much kiss the outside lane goodbye in any formation that has or challenge for the lead. As now Benjamin Nelson is just waiting, just hoping to hear an opening on the inside lane. Will he go just in front of Nick Olsen? He will not. He does not have an opening. Here comes Murphy, actually not giving a shove, maybe a little bit too quickly for his liking, down the back straightaway. Now the question is, does anyone decide to move up in front of Benjamin Nelson? Will Clint Spillman try something here on corner exit? We'll wait and see as we ride on board his back bumper. He does move up, and he moves right back down to the inside lane. Will it be the 44 of Lucas Cram that will try something? Will he move up? Has he decided that he's had enough sitting behind the 25 of Manger for the past about 18 or so laps? Looks like that decision is yes by the 44. He moves up to the outside lane. No challenge for the lead as they go down the back straightaway. Clint Spillman, last in the points, looking to get something. Looking to claw his way back up through the points. He hasn't really left the bottom 10 points. He hasn't really left 10th place ever since the start of the playoffs, unfortunately. But right now, this is looking incredibly good for the 88. Again, 10 points will be distributed, at least 10 points will be distributed to first place, 9 points to second place, 8 points to third place, and so forth and so on until we get to 1 point for 10th place. That is how your stage that is how the stage will end. But the question is, who will be where by the stage end? Because not everybody is going to be able to make it to the end. And one of those drivers is, of course, the 25 of Kyle Manger. Well, I thought actually he was falling back throughout that, but he made a very interesting move. Came up, willingly left the inside lane, and decided to help the 44 into that second place position, albeit maybe not intentionally help out the 44, but they actually created a gap between themselves and third place. Maybe Manger is looking for something later on in this race. Double lane swap from both the 44 and the 33. They decide, no, this lane is mine, and I'll take this lane. Manger trying to control both lanes again. He's about half a foot, maybe 2 feet off of that apron, coming down the back straightaway. Or rather, through turns 3 and 4, or turns 1 and 2. And the 11 of Brett Murphy had gotten shuffled back, and I think he's still getting shuffled back, actually. Not entirely sure he has gotten shuffled back to now was 11th, appropriately enough, for his car number. Make that 12th place. And there he is in the background, up on the top side. He'll fall right in behind the 15 of Alex Bell and in front of the 41 of Lucas Strayer. 10 laps to go until the completion of the stage. And it's going to be close on fuel. That's all I can say. At most, we've seen drivers make it 25 to 32 laps. That, of course, is the pit window. But my wonderment is, how much is too much in terms of throttle? This will shake everything up entirely in terms of the point standings alone, as well as who's going to be where by the end of this. So again, we'll all just have to wait and see collectively and figure out exactly what's going to be happening here, heading into the final now 9 laps of this stage. Right now the 95 of Lewis and the 7 of Schwingle unfortunately could not help out Colby Wells, who is 1 lap down. Caden Atkins is currently in line for that wave round. He's still actually sitting with the back of this field as well. He's still sitting behind these guys, and he's helped out Alan Ballacino up to what looks to be the 10th place position. So this is something all to keep an eye on. Will anybody blink coming into these final laps? Yes, it's everybody blinking heading into these final few laps. It's a huge spread of drivers. It's the majority of your top 10. Everyone able to get it under speed and time. It is, by the looks of this, about 10th to now 16th place. So six drivers from what looked to be about the top 10 all coming to pit road. Benjamin Nelson, Brendan Hoff, Alex Fox, Clint Spillman, Alex Bell, and Alan Ballacino. This Ballacino is down and away as quickly as possible. Same with everybody else. We could be left in a similar situation as we had last week. So everyone knows they can't really make it to the end. So this is more. I was about 22 laps in for some of those drivers, 21 to 22 laps. Maybe that's as far as they can make it, as a few drivers were hesitant. Christopher Lewis and Schwingle both stay out. But it's going to be Cram, Nelson, Manger, Murphy, all on the pit road. Does Quinn Gingrich come to pit road? No, he does not. Neither does Kyle Dager. Neither does Sean Howell. Those are the drivers that have really yet to pit, that are on the lead lap trying to challenge for the lead. But now, this is something to really look out for. So the drivers in your top 5 should be at least pitting this time by. Dustin Schwingle in first, Christopher Lewis in second. Third place, Quinn Gingrich. Fourth place, Kyle Dager. Fifth place, Sean Howell. I thought these drivers would be able to make it, but unfortunately that does not seem to be the case. That may have been before the fuel was lowered. But this is great. This is incredible for the 7 and the 95. Teammates of the 45 as well, two of which are playoff drivers. The 95 unfortunately did not make it to the playoffs, but he is able to help out his teammate for this season. So we'll see as the 7 does not overshoot his pit box. Quinn Gingrich, Kyle Dager, Sean Howell stay out an extra lap. A very, very interesting call. That grid driver, of course, is Kyle Dager. But the 7 and the 95 are now out on pit road. Here comes Benjamin Nelson and everybody else with, what's now 6 laps to go before the stage completion. Alex Fox, or Alex Bell, correction, stuck up on the outside lane. Alex Fox, however, is on the inside lane, passing Alex Bell, as Bell will get shuffled back. Colby Wells, unfortunately, he may have to bite the bullet, use his fast repair now. We'll see what happens. 24 laps on their run are Quinn Gingrich, Kyle Dager, and Sean Howell. This could benefit Howell greatly within these final 5 laps. But again, everything just has to, we just have to wait and see how everything plays out here. If the caution does come out within, from lap 37 before the stage end, and that is it. So if the caution is called at lap 37, 38, or 39, or even 40, that of course is the completion of the stage. But look at this, Sean Howell now trying to look out to the outside. He's going to try and slingshot his way by both drivers into the lead, past Colby Wells in the process. Will it be enough? It may not be. Kyle Dager trying to help out that 38. He'll go up top as the 45 dives down the pit road. And that double overtake, essentially a triple overtake, will work in the favor of Sean Howell with 3 laps to go. The rest of the field battling it out for 4th place. Alex Fox on the inside lane, Benjamin Nelson on the outside. This is absolutely incredible stuff as Kyle Dager has a few connection issues. He's back in, luckily. He was able to get by Sean Howell by the looks of things. I think Howell's maybe trying to save fuel at this point. He just wants to make it to the end. Kyle Dager very, very far ahead. But at what cost, as the drivers and the rest of the top 10 continue to battle it out side by side, trying to get any lane advantage possible. The 27 pushing the bumper off of that 33 of Nelson, trying to get himself out front with 3 laps before the completion of the stage. In fact, Sean Howell and Quinn Gingrich, they're also spread out. This could be incredibly interesting. This is going to be, of course, very interesting. This is going to be incredible. As now Gavin Jones leaves pit road. We see your top 3 here, just at the bottom right-hand side. There is the rest of the field as they make their way through. With the top 3 not being formed up, can the rest of the field actually catch up in time? We'll wait and see. But it's looking to be incredibly so. The 43 is the one who blinks first. He goes to pit road. Now it is just the top 2 of Sean Howell and Quinn Gingrich with 2 laps to go before the stage completion. How far ahead is too far ahead? This may be the answer here. Sean Howell trying to get the maximum amount of points possible coming into tonight, but it may cost him. Coming into tonight, Sean Howell was 8th place in points. And unfortunately, with him trying to save fuel, it will not be enough. Shooting by, rocketing by on the outside lane. It's everybody in the playoffs in your top 4 now. With 1 lap to go before the completion of the stage, here comes Alex Bell with a huge shot from the 33. They almost wreck, and he hangs on to it with 1 lap to go before completion. No help for the 27, the 33, and the 15 have all the time in the world. They have a buffer in the Formula 25 as Nelson moves down to the inside. Crossover attempt. He had to slow up. That will let the 15 move down to the inside. Bell, 9th place coming into this race. He'll try as they go 3 wide down the back straightaway. Everyone shoving themselves through on the inside lane. Does the 27 of Fox have anything? Does the 88 of Spillman have anything as they come to the start-finish line to complete the stage? Off turn number 4 they come. Any crossover attempt from the 27? He tries it, but it's not going to be enough by a car length. It's going to be Benjamin Nelson winning the stage, the second to last stage of the season, and there it is. Benjamin Nelson, Alex Fox, Clint Spillman, Alex Bell, Lucas Cram, Brandon Hoff, Nick Olson, Alan Ballacchino, Kyle Manger, and Dustin Schwingle coming in clutch at the start-finish line at the time of the caution. Well, we'll see if we can actually some rough calculations here heading into this second portion of the race, but in the meantime, we'll see if we can get a word in here with the 33 of Benjamin Nelson, your stage winner, with an incredible run coming to the completion. We'll wait to see if pit road is open this time by or not. It looks to be not the case. That pit road is open, so we'll see if we can get a word in with the 33 of Benjamin Nelson momentarily as we get things set up. So we'll see if we can get the thoughts of Benjamin Nelson coming into this final or second to last stage, especially with him winning it and being incredibly successful. Benjamin Nelson. Oh, we'll see if we can get it once again. Benjamin Nelson, do you have a copy with us?
Yes, sir.
Well, what a stage end of that was, especially with especially with those pit stops coming to the end, playing into effect. Sean Howell looked to be pretty slow as well. So just walk us through that those final few stages, especially with the pit stops playing into effect there.
At the beginning, I think most of us thought we could make it, but it seemed, as the run went on, it seemed less and less likely. So we kind of just planned a pit lap, and we all did it, and it kind of worked for us. So we were able to take the lead back and fend off, but then all the lap cars got, shaken up, and everything went kind of haywire there, but came out with a stage win.
Luckily, that was the case. So heading into this second half of the race, especially being under the lights, you won here last time. What are your thoughts?
It's definitely, this suits me a little bit more than Vega does in general, but I like how tight we are together a lot of the time, especially at the night version. I'm looking forward to how the rest of the race goes.
Well, we're going to go ahead and let you go. Congratulations on your stage win, and we hope to talk to you again.
Thank you.
That is the 33 of Benjamin Nelson as everyone comes into their pit boxes for fresh fuel and tire. And going right out the window with that statement I just about said is Lucas Cram, who takes absolutely no tires. A very, very daring strategy call, and we'll see how that fares in the second half. Benjamin Nelson will be second off pit road. Clint Spillman third off pit road. Fourth off pit road is Alex Fox. Alex Bell fifth off pit road. Sixth is Brendan Hoff. Seventh, Brett Murphy with just fuel, no tires. Dustin Schwingle. Eighth, ninth, Christopher Lewis. 10th is the 25 of Kyle Manger. Well, this is going to be a very interesting sight coming into this second half of the race, and we're going to be taking a quick commercial break as we step away momentarily, and we'll be right back with the green flag here, or the second half of the race as well, for the second to last playoff race of the season. This is the Sim Auto Racing Group Superspeedway Series, the B&W Structural 200 at Daytona. Welcome back to the Daytona International Speedway here for the second to last race of the season, of the playoff season as well, for the BMW Structural 200 at Daytona. We're coming in now to the final few laps here as the field makes their way around off turn number 4. And this is going to be something to really keep an eye on, where the only driver really to not take tires is Lucas Cram, playing a very daring strategy as the field will come now to the green flag. Once again to the starter's stand. Will this be the only other caution that we have tonight? We'll have to wait and see. We'll have that answer in the second half of the race, as we are green flag racing here once again at Daytona. As they get up to speed, and that question might already be answered actually, as going very, very wobbly into turn 1. Out of the exit of the tri-oval, it is Brett Murphy with a incredible save. Not sure what happened there. Must have gotten bumped from behind by the looks of things, but we'll see exactly what had happened here on the replay here on board the 11 of Brett Murphy. It's just that little bit of contact with himself and Alan Ballacino. And that little bit of contact can do so much, as we saw there. Luckily, everyone managed to sort themselves out. No harm, no foul. And we're actually all currently, as we go back to live pictures, single file up front. It may change momentarily depending on the mind of the 27 and the 44 for sure. Decides to go out to the outside. Here comes Brendan Hoff in the process as well. Colby Wells looks to have gotten a faster pair. Can we say the same for the 9? We cannot. The 9 of Hoff still sitting in the top 5 with heavy damage on the back bumper, but knows he is going to be able to stick through and use his faster pair if anything else does happen. We'll see how things go throughout this second half of the race. Look at this. Everyone trying to stretch themselves out to the outside lanes. Almost all of them at the same time, but Alex Fox with help from the ADA of Clint Spillman, who crosses over to the inside lane. From out of absolutely nowhere, Clint Spillman will be able to get the lead, maybe at least off turn 4, down through the entry to the tri-oval, and just by a car length. It was so close yet so far for that lap, as the 88 of Clint Spillman will be able to at least get that second place position. Another lap led for the 27 Alex Fox rather. Right now, everyone's just waiting as we see the 88 Spillman move up to the outside lane, controlling both lanes just as Manger had done. As we ride on board, maybe a bit of a bobble from the apron on board Clint Spillman, but he is able to hang on to that Chevy Camaro. They'll be able to at least continue to sit up here in the top 2 positions and challenge for the lead. Speaking of the aforementioned the 25, we see Manger falling back on the outside, unfortunately, with absolutely no help. Maybe got shuffled out, maybe decides to at least willingly say, you know what, I'm going to risk falling all the way back and just save my engine, but only he knows that, and we do not. So, taking a look back up front, it is Clint Spillman now challenged by the 33 of Benjamin Nelson. Spillman will be helped by the 44 of Cram behind him. 9 of Hoff will be pushing the 27, and right when I say that, Both the 27 and 33 move down to the inside lanes. Closing in on 30 laps to go at the start-finish line. And it definitely is something for sure, a sight to see, as the 88 wants to see that clean air in front of him. He doesn't want to see anybody in front. For as far as he can see. Unfortunately, it's going to require a huge shove and consistent shoves from the 9 and pretty much anybody else up on the top side, and I don't think Brendan Hoff is confident enough that he can actually get a good enough run on the outside, spilling, bobbling heavily on the outside. 30 laps to go, and don't worry about cranking up the dial yourself, because we'll do that for you here as we listen to the roar of the Xfinity engines going around Daytona Superspeedway, as both the 15 and the 44 of Cram make some daring moves up to the outside. Continue to battle. We've seen some close moments there. A few drivers slowing up, I believe. A few drivers that nearly made contact, at least, was somewhere around the 43, Lucas Strayer in the back. Not entirely sure who it was, unfortunately. It may have been Colby Wells. That's definitely one of the 3 Sawhorse drivers who had gotten shuffled back on the inside, unfortunately. May have been Colby Wells, may have been Christopher Lewis as well, who was also back there. Dustin Schwingle up on the outside, had a few connection issues earlier, was able to hang on to it. 25 laps to go at the start-finish line this time by. As we continue to see consistent shuffling, and well, at this point on, most drivers could go up pit road and not have to worry about anything. But the thing is, the next time these drivers have to pit, well, they don't have to right now. They don't have to pit for another, I'd say, about 10 or so laps, about lap 65, would be the time that these drivers would have to pit. About 20 laps to go, so there'll be something to look ahead for and think about as we head into the final few laps of the race, the final stretch of the race as well. With all this shuffling going on, it may be some time, maybe even sooner than anticipated, that we'll be seeing some drivers go pit road, as they are 3 wide for the lead. Left out to dry is going to be the 9 of Brendan Hoff, unfortunately. And all the way back to the back of this pack he will go is that number 9 of Brendan Hoff. He's got nobody wanting to make a move up to the outside, trying to help him out. He'll fall in behind the 56 of Caden Atkins, who is, by the way, still 1 lap down, now in 20th. Going through your field very, very quickly, we have Lucas Cram in first, and immediately that will be changing in about the next 10 seconds. If the 15 can at least get some kind of help. Oh, and that's not the help that he wants. It's going to be the big one here at Daytona, entering turns 1 and 2. The big one strikes at Daytona, and I think that for the first time this season, it is a practical parking lot, unfortunately, off turn number 2 here in the Sim Auto Racing Group Superspeedway Series to bring out the 3rd caution. And those worries about pit strategy may be starting to crop up now that the caution has come out. And we'll get a replay here to see what had happened here. Unfortunately, going through turns 1 and 2, really the only survivors were the ones that were out front, and that was just and only just the 44 of Lucas Cram. We'll take a look at it from the angle that we initially saw it at. For the first angle of your replay, the 11 of Murphy comes up. It's unfortunately netcode, twice netcode, and that just, the second portion of netcode just clears out everybody from about 4th place on back, unfortunately. Gets some kind of damage, and boy, oh boy, is it a big wreck. Caden Atkins involved, just many playoff drivers at this point. We're better off telling you who didn't get involved in this at this point, so we'll take a look once again here. But let's take an onboard look, at least from, we'll see if we can get a really good onboard shot from somebody. But my oh my, how things have changed so very quickly. The O2 Balacino was actually almost able to get through it. We'll ride on board with the O2 machine. Saw it, moves down low, and there's a 95. Just nowhere to go, unfortunately. In fact, we'll see if we can get an angle from up above to see who did technically not make it, I guess, in some cases. We'll see who got a piece of it for sure. We do have some time, as the pace car has now just started its official first few laps of pacing, so we'll take a look here from up above, where many drivers will be using their faster pair so early on in some cases, if we can interpret it that way. But look at the 11. He moves up, no problem with that. But unfortunately, it was the net code that got him, that sent him up into the 33. And unfortunately for Benjamin Nelson, it's not the first time that he's had a quite literal run with net code. He comes just across the nose of the 27, and the 33 tries to correct, tries to save it. Unfortunately, that's just not the case. So at this point, we'll pause it here. We have already 4 or 5 cars, 6 cars that made contact. That's the 11, the 15, not exactly the 11. I guess we'll leave the 11 out of this in terms of actual visible physical contact, but we'll include them just for this case. But we have the 15, the 33, the 11, the 27, the 43, the 88, the 52, and it just goes on from there as the 33 comes down. Look at Nick Olson in the 24, just not able to get by, unfortunately. The 52, Stephen Gale, just gets tagged on the bottom. The 45 gets involved. The 5 gets involved. The 7 gets a piece of it as well. Christopher Lewis, here comes, well, there's the 88 of Spellman, unfortunately. Heavy damage. There's the O2 of Balacino. And we should be seeing We should be seeing the 02. There's the 56, actually. Correction, the 56 coming into this, quite literally, unfortunately. And at that point, we can try to get a car count here for a couple of moments here. So we'll hold off on going back to live pictures, but we do have time before the green flag flies once again. And we'll take a look to see as the lights go out on the pace car. Taking a look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 cars that made contact out of 21 that were all involved in that. So definitely the big one of this race. Nick Olsen was able to quite literally squeeze by everyone that's gone to pit road already. Everyone has gone and completed their pit road sequence. They've all gotten to 20 laps to go. 19 laps to go when we get to the green. This is a time for these drivers to save some fuel in the process, but many drivers, possibly 14 drivers, have all used their faster pair. Stephen Gale, unfortunately, the only driver trapped 1 lap down, may have already used his faster pair earlier on. We'll take a look at him now, actually, and by the looks of this, unfortunately, it looks to be that he has not used his faster pair yet, or he may be unable to. In the meantime, as we await the green flag to fly here once again at Daytona, it's 19 laps to go. Drivers will just barely be able to make it to pit road. Be able to make it to the end of the race. Correction, the scheduled end of the race, if that. So we'll see how these final 19 laps now play out. Coming to the start-finish line, pace car dives to pit road once again. Green flag is out with 19 laps to go. It's a great start by Lucas Cram. I believe chose the outside lane this time by. And he'll immediately go straight to the lead. Already side by side for about position 5 between the 43 of Dager and the 33 of Nelson. Look at how much this has shaken up the playoff field already. Still, throughout all this, Benjamin Nelson is able to just hang in this. And the same goes for Lucas Cram as well. He was out in front of that, actually, so he did get an incredibly lucky break. Everyone else, not so much. We'll see as shuffling is definitely happening now. Everyone incredibly anxious to get out front. One of which, Brandon Hoff. And if we do some rough math off the top of our heads here, which is probably not going to happen, so we'll take a look at the Sean Howell in the outside wall. Was he able to hang on to it? He was. Just barely scrapes the outside wall and corner entry. But if we take a look and see where Brendan Hoff finished. So Brendan Hoff got 5 points in the completion of the stage. And at the moment, without any other changes or anything, that puts him at 8 points behind Nelson and Cram. Again, that's without any changes to Nelson or Cram's point standings as well. In fact, we'll go back and triple check to see who exactly is where in this phase of the completion of the stage, as well as the terms of the point standings coming into this second half of the race. In the meantime, as we await some quick calculations, we'll take a look as everyone makes their way around at Daytona. Once again, Nick Olsen trying to challenge for the lead with a little bit of help from the number 9 of Brandon Hoff. So, doing some quick calculations here. Benjamin Nelson is currently, in terms of at the completion of the stage, Benjamin Nelson is currently at 1,125 points. This again is at the completion of the stage. Lucas Cram, 9th, 8th, just double checking the point standings here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 points for Lucas Cram, as everyone is all spread out here. Lucas Graham got 6 points. He is currently, at least at the completion of the stage, 1 point ahead of Benjamin Nelson. Brendan Hoff, who got 6 points, correction, 5 points. Is currently at 1,112 points. So it's going to be a definite shuffle just from that alone. And Nelson is going to have to pull, or sorry, Hoff, correction. Brendan Hoff is at 1,112 points. So Hoff is going to have to pull off a miracle. He's going to have to pull off not only another podium finish, but at this point a win. And he's looking to do so by helping out Nick Olsen to the front. He's going to push the 24, he's planning at least by the looks of this, to push the 24 out front, pull a little bit of a slight deficit as well between himself and Cram, as well as the 33 of Nelson, as well as the rest of the playoff field. But let's not count out the 27 of Alex Fox. He had placed second coming into the completion of the stage. Unfortunately for Alex Fox, it might not be enough. And in fact, again, like I mentioned just off the top of the broadcast, it's only going to be maybe about the top 4 drivers competing for the championship. But by the looks of this, once again, it may be even the top 3 drivers competing for the championship. Cram, Nelson, Hoff, Ballacino. And that might be it. We'll wait and see heading into next week. As on the outside wall again, unfortunately, well, actually not again, but the first time tonight, as far as I know, it's the 0-2 of Alan Ballacino. Thought that was once again Sean Howell having some more bad luck running the top side, but that was in fact to the 0-2 of Alan Ballacino, not the 38 of Sean Howell, who, unfortunately for the 38, not having the best race tonight. Currently sits 18th overall, and coming into this race, he was unfortunately 8th place in the point standings. And there is the 52 of Stephen Gale, who still has not yet. He's trying to get to the end by the looks of this at this point. I don't think he is one lap down, so he's maybe hoping for a wave around another caution at some point. But if the caution comes out after he's lapped again, he'll be 2 laps down, unfortunately. So this is definitely a race shuffle entirely, as Robbie Lyons is in pit road getting tires and fuel by the looks of things. Just right side tires for the 97, bobble from the 9 of Brendan Hoff. Not entirely sure how, to be honest, but somehow Brendan Hoff has sneakily made his way up to now the first place position on the outside lane. And with 11 laps to go, drivers are on their 10th lap overall of their run. They're just going to barely be able to make it to the completion of the race. But again, I heavily emphasize the scheduled completion. We do have 3 green-white checkers if necessary. We've only had to use 1 this season. Laps to go at the start-finish line, this time by Brett Murphy, looking to make his way up through the field. Same with Alex Fox in the number 27. A win could greatly help extend the lead, depending on who you are, or even get the lead, again, depending on who you are. And depending on how we fare by the end of tonight. That is if some drivers even make it to the end of tonight, because the 9 is not looking to be making it to the end of the night so far. He does have a faster pair available once again, if he does need it. But depending on how we fare post-race, we may be able to get you the final point standings at the very end of this broadcast. So if possible, stick around to the post-race interviews, and it sounds to the post-race interviews, stick around after those, because we just might be able to get the point standings in time. Oh man, Brendan Hoff squeezing down the 44 of Cram as the laps continue to wind down. He is hoping for that 33 to just shove him, but that damage on the back end of that number 9 is just not helping in any way. And it's moved the spoiler as well. It's hurt the performance of the car, and in fact, there's a Ford over there next to Matt Hoff, but we can give a little bit of a slight representation of what the back bumper should like, at least when it comes to the spoiler, and how it is affecting the aerodynamics of that number 9 machine. So much that we probably won't be able to use the back end camera of that number 9, considering that it is squished up for the time being. But look at this, a great shove and a great shot on board here from the 33 of Benjamin Nelson. We see how much work he's putting into this, and in fact, we'll just ride on board the 33 of Nelson here throughout this lap to see what he does, as well as to see what he sees on the inside lane happening with Brett Murphy and Lucas Cram as they go down the back straightaway. Both drivers even. Unfortunately for Hoff, not being able to get pushed incredibly smoothly. He's there, he's just about there. He just needs that little bit more, unfortunately, but that doesn't seem to be the case at the moment on the outside lane. But Cram right now currently in control of the lead by now a car length and a quarter or so. Going back to the next playoff contender being Brendan Hoff at the start-finish line. All 21 drivers that have started the race, they are still running this race. 3 of which are lapped down. That is from 21st to 19th. 21st, Stephen Gale, 2 laps down. 20th, Caden Atkins, and 19th is Robbie Lyons. Everyone else on the lead lap from 1st to 18th, as you see on the right-hand side, as the timing tower cycles by through the entirety of your field. 6 laps to go at the start-finish line. Somebody's looking to make it a 3-lane charge. That's the 25 of Kyle Manger, and as quickly as he attempts it, he decides maybe not, and he decides once again to go back up to the outside, but on corner entry, it's just not the best line to take, especially with no help. Hearing a slower car in front, that might be the 52 of Stephen Gale. It is, unfortunately, as he lets the field by. He goes onto the apron to be incredibly safe and not cause a caution with race control. The 11 slides up a little bit twice on the entry to turn number 3, just hangs on to it. He's for sure all over the back bumper of the 44 of Lucas Cram, as that third lane is just starting to form up again with Alan Ballacchino. Here comes Nick Olson as he moves up to the outside lane. We could have a 3-wide battle here for the lead down the back straightaway. That just depends entirely on who is where. Ballacchino moves back down to the middle lane, faking out, in a sense, the 25 and 24 machine. 5 laps to go down the back straightaway, 4.5 correction, as here comes Alex Bell now into this battle in that number 15 machine. 3rd car in line on the middle lane in that number 15. He'll try a charge. Does he make the 3rd lane happen? Ballacchino tries to move up, decides against it, as he was not clear of that number 24. 4 laps to go at the line. No challenge, at least discernibly, from the outside lane. No clear challenge from the outside lane. Brendan Hoff has the momentum. It's there, but unfortunately, that back bumper is just not helping. Even from this angle, we could see there on corner entry just how crushed up it is, and just how much it could be hurting that number 9. Look at that. It looks like a curve, and that's definitely not what it should look like. And I'm pretty sure Benjamin Nelson is regretting not taking that fast repair. But look at that crush on the back bumper compared to the 44's teammate as well. It's just not going to help out anytime soon, and we'll have to hope that something happens to the inside lane like that. Being slowed up and a crash in the back. The caution is out, the second big one at Daytona. Huge crash in the tri-oval, and that is going to wipe out many drivers again for the second time today, and some of them may not have a fast repair available to them. It's a huge crash coming to the final laps, and we're going to be going into a green-white checker situation, and Brandon Hoff in the lead at the time of the caution. The one thing that he needed, granted, is it what he wanted right now? We'll have to wait and see. Caution is out as the field waits up for the pace car for the second time, and it was contact midfield, if you could really call it that. But we'll take a look from top down, from up above here. Looking again, trying to get a top-down a camera angle here. Slow motion as well coming through on the exit of the tri-oval. So here it is, a replay of what had happened here on the entry to the tri-oval. As unfortunately, we're having a couple technical issues here, but we'll get that sorted out. As well, we'll take a look at the 11 on the inside. Second car on the inside lane. Makes contact with the 44, comes up on the outside lane, maybe trying to get a lane that was opening, collects the 15, and unfortunately it is just on from there. And just look at the carnage that happens. The 27 of Fox, who is involved as well, just look at, just from this one shot, we'll pause it here, just from this one shot. Well, we'll ask you, how many drivers do you see that were involved before? Because I do see a few that were involved in the initial crash, and that's pretty much the back half of the field, what equates to it. And here we see in this one shot, 4 cars on the left-hand side, 4 cars in the middle, 3 cars on the right-hand side, and already, that's what, 11 drivers involved? And my, oh my, did they ever get banged out. The 15 hard shot on the inside, just... It's just absolute carnage here coming into the tri-oval portion of this track. And we'll see one more time, at least from a static camera angle, to see what exactly it looked like here at Daytona. And we just see just the carnage occurring there. Huge shot from the 95 as well. Another one of the Star Wars drivers involved. Maybe the 45, Colby Wells, I believe, is one of them. I think it was. And my, oh my, just what an incident that was. Apologies for having no audio of the trackside cameras there, but we'll have them here as we go back live to your current pictures. And this should be, in theory, the one to go signal this time by the looks of everyone going side by side, albeit scattered. Let's give some drivers a chance to save a little bit of fuel. That chance has slowly ticked down and come to an end now that we've gotten the one to go signal. As of now, we are currently in a green-white checker situation. It will be one attempt so far, one of 3 attempts, and we'll be going to lap number 82 instead of lap number 80 for your race end tonight. That, of course, is subject to change. Watch out for Benjamin Nelson on the inside lane. Watch out for Clint Spillman, who's back up in the top 5 out of nowhere as well. He'll restart 6th place, 5th place correction on the inside lane. Restarting 6th place is going to be the 02 of Alan Ballacchino. In fact, I may have my numbers crossed here momentarily, but no, I am correct. 5th place will be Clint Spillman, 6th place. It's going to be actually 7th place. We may have someone that has gone to pit road once again, so we'll see how everything fares on the restart. But 1st and 2nd are going to be the 9 and the 44. 3rd and 4th, that's the 33 and 11. 5th and 6th are the 88 and the 02. That's our top 6 on the restart. Will this be the last restart? The series history says yes. Of course it is. We've only had to use 1 green-white checker. Will that be the case for tonight? Playoff points on the line. Brendan Hoff looking to get another win this season. All eyes on the flag stand. Hoff got 2 podiums in a row the last 2 weeks. Can he at least get a third as the green flag flies here at Daytona? Watch out for Benjamin Nelson, who gets an incredible start with help from the 88. Does Nelson dive up to the top side? He does not. He holds on to the position for the time being. Will he wait to go down the back straightaway as the 88 of Clint Spillman looks to extend his points as well, trying to get some type of gain? One thing the 9 could want is just all of the defense in the world. Down the back straightaway, the 33 of Nelson moves up to the outside lane. He's got no help. Now the 9 has no help as the 88 of Spillman goes out to the outside lane. He wants to win for himself in these final 2 laps. Can they make it to the start-finish line is the question. The 33 of Nelson in control this time. By as they come across the trial of entry and exit will get the 1 to go signal. This race will be official no matter what. 3 wide from the 48-11, and now up to the top side goes the 88 of Spillman. Contact made between teammates of the 44 and the 9. Spillman falls back on the top side, and it's going to be Nelson in that number 33 machine on the inside lane. He'll go up to protect the 44, moves back down to the inside lane, down the back straightaway, and we see here a huge shove from Brett Murphy in the 11 to the 44. The 33 of Nelson as well involved. These top 2 drivers, the 33 and 44, have been contesting throughout this entire season. How will it fare across the start-finish line? The 9 of Hoff is clear. Now he's not, as they scramble in the back for any positions possible. Contact is made coming across the start-finish line, and it's going to be by a clear car length. Benjamin Nelson gets the win at Daytona. It's a side-by-side drag race photo finish between the 9 and the 44. Brendan Hoff officially gets position number 2, and Lucas Cram will get position number 3 as Benjamin Nelson is victorious once again this season. How many times? A 4th time this season. An incredible job by Benjamin Nelson to get the win here at the Sim Racing Group Superspeedway Series with the BMW Structural 200 at Daytona. The race is officially over, and how will the points stack up going into next week? I don't think Benjamin Nelson may have enough fuel to actually do burnouts here at this point, but we'll take a look here at your finishing results as the fireworks go off in the background. It is Benjamin Nelson getting the win here at Daytona. Brandon Hoff, 2nd place. 3rd place, Lucas Cram in a photo finish for that top 3. Quinn Gingrich with a great race this week. It took him a while, but luckily he does get an incredible race. He'll finish P4, and Sean Howell will finish 5th. 6th place is Lucas Strayer. 7th place, Clint Spillman. 8th place, Kyle Dager. 9th place is Brett Murphy, and 10th place is Dustin Schwingle. Robbie Lyons will finish 11th. 12th place is Gavin Jones. Alan Ballacchino will finish 13th. And what a position loss that was, unfortunately, for Ballacchino on the restart. Same goes for pretty much anybody in the running there coming to the end. Nick Olson finishes 14th. And it's Colby Wells rounding out the top 15, the last of the drivers on the lead lap. Kyle Manger finishes 1 lap down in 16th, and the same goes for at least 17th place Caden Atkins. Alex Fox, not the best race this week, unfortunately, and that pretty much might be the end of it for him. We'll have to wait and see, of course, when the points are updated. Stephen Gale finishes 3 laps down, unfortunately, just trying to get it to the end after, by the looks of it, using his faster pair early on and not being able to get back on the lead lap. Alex Bell finishes in position number 20, and Christopher Lewis finishes 21st, 4 laps down, but everybody was all in the running for that finish. What an incredible race this was, but this broadcast is not over just yet. Stay tuned to the Racing Line Broadcasting Network, where we will be here with your top 3 interviews here at the Daytona International Speedway for the Sim Racing Group Super Speedway Series. The BMW Structural 200 at Daytona post-race show will begin momentarily. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere.
Coming up to the line, being chased, and it was Braden Johnson. Unbelievable finish. It was 1/1000th of a second between them.
Green flag in the air. We are racing in the 2020 24 Hours of Daytona.
They go door to door for the feature race lead here on the last lap of the race.
Side by side for the race lead in the final corner at Homestead.
Down the back straightaway, 3 wide again for the race lead. This is unbelievable stuff here tonight.
Loma is going to have to be very deep on the brakes, and he is very deep on the brakes. It's side by side through the corner. This is for the win.
It'll be side by side. Davies low, Ottinger high. To the very inside is Garrett low. 4 wide at the stripe. For all he's worth here on this outside line, neck and neck. Who's going to back out? Does anyone back out?
Verstappen starts to squeeze on the inside, and now he'll try and straight line it. Goes under the apron, drag race to the line. It's so close to call.
Welcome back to the Daytona International Speedway, where we just had an absolutely incredible race for the second to last race of this season, of course, pending the remainder of the point standings and the changes that we'll see then. We'll try and get those after the interviews here, if possible. Again, that of course is subject to change, but what a race this was. Getting $10 from B&W Structural 200 here at Daytona, or from B&W Structural. $10 going to Benjamin Nelson once again this season to get a 4th win this season, and we do have a replay ready for you actually coming up momentarily, just to show you how insane the final few laps were, as just again, it's just absolutely incredible. And well, they say actions speak louder than words, or the picture's worth 1,000 words. I'm pretty sure this video is worth about 200 words, 2,000 words, correction. So just take a look at this off turn number 4 here. Sean Howell somehow slips by Strayer as well, and just pure insanity. Even apparently, even one of the if we look actually just over the apron there momentarily, if you can kind of see that little white streak there under the WO line, that's a cone that somehow made its way from pit entry. Apparently, what a race that was. Just absolutely incredible. And we'll see if we can get a word in here with your top three, and all of which seem to be, very appropriately enough, available to talk with. So we'll start off with your third place finisher, and that being finishing in third place by a incredibly close margin as well in the drag race to the line for second place. It's Lucas Cram in the 44 who finishes third place, and continuing that, just finishing in the top three positions, top five, just being overall consistent. And well, just walk us through this race and that final dash to the line.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not good enough to to beat Ben. But trying to just keep my nose up there, and can't do much when you got 10 guys working together. So I was just trying to get what I could there and try to scrap for every point all race long, and put myself in position to be there at the end, which I luckily was able to beat. Thanks to Brett Murphy. He was pushing me for probably 20 laps or so. I actually lost track, but he kept me out front for a long time. So a huge thank you to him. He was doing a great job, pushing me, keeping me from letting Brandon get down, and also keeping his engines cool and everything. So again, a huge thank you to him. But yeah, it was just a fight all race long, and working for everything I could, and that also a huge thank you to Nick and Alex Bell there for trying to help push me and make moves together. But overall, it was a pretty fun race. A little bit frustrating, but just gotta try to continue to maintain when I can. Lost some points there, unfortunately, in a bend, but just gonna try to see what we can get next week.
And heading into next week, that being the final race of the season, what are your thoughts as the points continue to be awaited, at least in terms of finalizing for the most part?
It's just it's all going to be points racing, I think, more than actual racing. Trying to scrap because everybody's so close together. I think the top three, looking right now as I just updated it, we're all right there. Me and Ben are actually tied for the point lead. So we're all so close together, and we're racing for so much, and there's a lot of bonus points between the pole and then laps led and the stages. That we're just gonna be fighting for everything all race long. So hopefully it's not a complete wreck fest or anything with too many wrecks for guys trying to get what they can. But I think it's gonna be pretty wild and intense. Obviously Talladega, every time I've gone there this season, it's been awesome, and you can really get a lot of different lanes working. So it's gonna be fun for sure, and I look forward to it.
Well, we're going to go ahead, or actually, before we go ahead and let you go, anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to for your third place finish here for this week?
Yeah, absolutely. Huge shout out to Robbie for co-winning the league. Luckily, he was able to make it tonight. Just got his internet installed. Unfortunately, didn't have a very good race because his brakes failed. But huge thank you to him for being co-winning the league. Huge thank you to everybody who came out and raced tonight. I think it was our highest car count in a little while. So it was nice to have that at least in decent field out there. And huge shout out, of course, to you for the broadcast as always.
Hopefully that is the case. We're going to go ahead and let you go. Congratulations on your third place finish here for this week. So that is Lucas Cram in the number 44, not the 33. We'll get to him momentarily. Next up, though, it's going to be the 9 of Brendan Hoff, who finishes second once again. I believe the third podium in a row for you this week as well. And just what pure insanity, in a sense, that was.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I finished second, honestly. Felt like a sitting duck out there a lot, but I got damaged early, and I had to get that repaired. But after that, I kind of just rode around at the front, got shuffled out a few times near the end of the stage. Um, I was going into the race knowing I had to beat Lucas and Ben. I was doing an okay job all night. I was trying to help who I can. I knew I probably wasn't going to win because my Ben was trying to push me at the end, and he said my car was pretty impossible to push with that rear end damage. So I was just gonna try to help who I can. But yeah, I mean, glad to come home second. I mean, I think I lost points in the championship, but I have a shot. I don't know how many cars we'll get next week, but I'm less than 20 out. So if we get enough cars and I get those stage points and maybe win a pole, lead some laps, win the race, maybe I'll have a shot. But finishing second tonight was cool. That's I think that's 3 or 4 straight podiums. I don't know, but glad to finally have a stretch of good runs.
And of course, coming into the final half of the season in the process as well. So it's you versus two others, and hopefully it'll be relatively well, quite literally a close fight, of course. But heading into next week at Talladega, I mean, you were able to pull out a win, I believe, just a couple weeks ago. Actually, correction, that was more at Daytona in the 2008 Oval. So you did at least pull off a podium finish last week. So your thoughts heading into Talladega for the final race of the season?
Same as it's been, really. Just wanting to do the best I can now that I've got an outside shot of points, but not an excellent shot. Just go out, try to win. Pretty much the strategy, as it's been pretty much these entire playoffs. So I hope I don't hope bad luck on anybody. It's fun racing with everybody in the league. Um, I kind of have to hope Ben and Lucas both have some bad luck. I know they're tied going into the final race right now. So, we'll see. Just going to go out there, race all out, try to win the race, and see where I end up.
And before we go ahead and let you go, get rest up and get ready for next week, who would you like to give a shout out to for your second place finish for this week?
Thanks to everybody at Grip Motorsports. They helped me out. Everybody worked with me tonight. Ben, Clint, Alex, Sean, Lucas, Strayer, Quinn, everybody down there, Alan. They all helped me out tonight. You, Gary, for putting this on. Great broadcast every week. Today's been kind of a downer day personally, but I know last week kind of was. My brother's been home from the hospital. It's been kind of rough, and I've had some other personal issues to deal with today. But glad, sim racing usually it's a good way to clear my mind and do what I like. So just looking forward to next week, and hopefully we'll have another good one.
Hopefully next week will be indeed a good one, and we hope, of course, you get better, and we hope to talk to you again next week as well.
All right, thanks, Gary. Appreciate it.
That is the 9 of Brendan Hoff, and last but not least, it is once again the 33 of Benjamin Nelson that we get to talk to once again for this season. And well, Ben, like I mentioned at the actually stage end of the race, that well, you're no stranger to winning here under the lights at Daytona, and well, luckily you did manage to come away with that win.
Yeah, it's just something a little magical about it for me. I think this is where I got my first like official truck win too, like in this exact configuration. So um, it kind of just happens that way for me. This is like two in a row, 2 wins in a row. So that it's not exactly coincidence, I guess, but it certainly helps the case that we went here this time. It seems like I've performed well here a lot of the time, and I can't ignore that there's a lot of games being played out there. There's a lot of teamwork going on. So it just happened to fall my way this time, and I'm grateful for that. It's definitely going to make a very interesting championship race. No doubt about that.
A championship race is going to be incredibly close, and something that we'll have to really wait and see what plays out. I'd probably personally be on the edge of my seat, but that might not entirely be possible. But heading into, of course, next week being the championship race, as you did mention, what are your thoughts?
I mean, it's pretty obvious that I just need to beat Lucas. It's really all I need to do. I need to beat him in everything, but I don't know if I'll be able to do that. I think we're going to trade blows, and I think it's going to be one heck of a race. But there's no telling how what push goes where, who wrecks when. It's also random, but it's kind of crazy how it all comes down to such close finishes a lot of the time. Um, it's going to be a wild one. Uh, I kind of wish it was here instead of Talladega, but that's just my personal opinion, and you know why. It's pretty obvious,
Oh
but
yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be one heck of a race. I don't think I've ever come into a championship battle of any kind in the points lead as a tie. So it's going to be a first for me, that's for sure.
It's definitely going to be a first for probably many. It's going to be something that everyone's going to be looking at and just hoping and probably having in the back of their minds as well heading into the next couple of weeks. But before we go ahead and let you go get ready for those next couple of weeks, who would you like to give a shout out to for your 4th race win of the season here tonight?
For me, it's going to be a little bit of an unusual shout out. My aunt was recently diagnosed with COVID-19, so I hope that she gets well. I wanted to give her a shout out just in case anybody wanted to pray for her, give her some thoughts, send her some prayers her way. Uh, we need everything we can get for her right now. So just wanted to say shout out to her. She's always supported what I do, especially when it comes to sim racing. So I can't ignore her at all. My Aunt Marilyn, I love her so much.
Hopefully, she indeed does get better in the next couple of weeks or however long it does take. But hopefully, again, she does get better. And hopefully, we get to talk to you again next week as well. And of course, better circumstance. Well, yeah, and in great circumstances, I guess. There's a way to word that somewhere. There's a sentence in there somewhere. But in the meantime, though, we hope to talk to you again next week. It's going to be something to really look out for.
I appreciate it. Have a good week.
There's definitely sense in there somewhere, and unfortunately, I was not able to form that in any way, shape, or form at all. But unfortunately, we don't have the graphic available, but we do have at least the points available, as Lucas had mentioned. The point standings heading into next week are, of course, tied between Benjamin Nelson and Lucas Cram at 1,171 points. So suffice to say, they're tied at, they're tied for first place. But the key thing is, Brendan Hoff is 18 points behind, so he's going to have to pull off pretty much a miracle heading into next week. He is 18 points behind, Brendan Hoff is. Anyone else is, well, unfortunately, relatively out of contention for the championship. We'll have the graphic ready next week, of course. But in the meantime, we thank you all for tuning in here to the Racing Line Broadcasting Network next week and the week after next. So the week after the finale is going to be something to look ahead for as well. It's going to be an all-star race heading into the final week of this month. The final Thursday of this month will be an all-star race. So we hope to see you next week for the Sim Auto Racing Group's Superspeedway Series 2020 Grand National Season Playoffs finale. That's a mouthful and a half right there. But we hope to see you next week at Talladega for a incredibly intense and more than likely incredibly stressful, in some cases, championship finale. Thank you all for tuning in to the Racing Line Broadcasting Network, and we hope to see you all next time.